By the way, I may have missed it. I don't think I did, but I may have missed it. Did you notice how ESPN last night did not show Trump once on ESPN? I didn't mention him in the broadcast, nothing. Boy, if that was Obama, and I voted Democrat, but if that was Obama, he would have been plastered on television. Oh my God, he would have been in the booth. He would have been all over the place. Would have driven us crazy all night with Obama. Oh, would have driven us crazy. And I don't think he even mentioned the fact that he was in the building. That's ESPN being politically correct. Can't have it both ways. You can't do one president, not the other. That's not fair. I mean, don't do Obama then. When he shows up or Clinton shows up, I don't want to see him either. And I don't want to see Trump anywhere, to be honest with you. And he obviously knows he's got a safe landing spot there in the South, so I get that. But ESPN washed their hands of that entirely, and Fowler and Herbstreit didn't even mention it. And I guarantee you, if that's Obama, he's in the booth for 20 minutes. I guarantee it. Think about that for a minute. That's not being, if you're ESPN, you got to be consistent. If you're not going to show Trump, I don't want to see the Democratic president either. I know you want to be, hip and all that. You got to play it right down the middle. Here is Paul in New Jersey. He's with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Paul, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Hey, Mad Dog. How you doing today?
Hello, Paulie. I'm doing well, thanks. What's up?
Got another refugee here.
Oh, we got a refugee. Hit it, baby, Collie, baby. We got a refugee. Maybe Paul came down the Hudson River. He was cast aside on December 15th with Mike's farewell at 6 o'clock. With Mike's, goodbye, I love you. With his farewell, Paul is zapped around. I don't know if he gave the new show a chance, but he's looking for a radio home driving around the Northeast, and hopefully he's found one. Go ahead, Paul. What's on your mind today?
Well, I did try to give it a new try, but it's just a not listen right now. I think three's a crowd.
Oh, it's way too many people. I think they got a lot of work to do. I happen to agree. Go ahead. Next.
Too many opinions. Mad Dog, I know you listen. I caught the beginning of the show. I didn't know if you caught this later on, but I thought another big penalty that Alabama got away with was the right before Alabama's first touchdown, Georgia running back was dropped for a loss, and they had a big face mask that was very obvious. Very obvious. It would have given them a first down, kept the drive going. Instead, they had a punt. Alabama gets the ball, and then they go down and score that first
Excellent
touchdown.
point. Yeah, it's another one. So they missed two. I remember the one you're talking about. So they missed two face masks. They missed one on the kickoff return, and you're right. They missed a bad face mask on the tackle. I can look when that exactly was. When was that, Paulie? Do you know? Top of your head?
It was right before their first touchdown. Whenever that quarterback went down and they went on that drive and got that first touchdown, it was that series right before that.
All right, so it's right after they punted. It was right after Alabama punt. It was right after Alabama had their first 3 and out. Is that what you're telling me in the second and third quarter?
I believe so. Yeah, and then they after that missed play, they had a punt, and then Alabama went right down and scored.
Well, let's take a look at it. First, I'm going to take a look at it. 1st and 10, 2 minutes into the third quarter at the Georgia 36. Chubb lost 3 yards. 2nd and 13, complete to Swift for a loss of 8 yards, and then Swift ran for 4 yards to the Georgia 29. So on one of those 3 plays, there was the face mask, correct?
It was blatant. I remember the refs looked at it. They went back at it, and they said, I don't know how they missed that. There was a back judge right there.
I remember the call. I remember the play. You're right. We did not talk about that. That is another penalty. So that's about 6 penalties. And even if you want to give the officials a break and nobody got hurt with the block punt, as Rick and Buchanan said, that's another face mask. I remember the play. I don't remember which one it was, but I knew the play you're referring to. And that should have been an automatic first down, 15 yards. Good point. Next. Go ahead.
The other thing I didn't like either was that one guy from Alabama got the 15-yard penalty. Saban went nuts on him. He gets on the sideline. He's still jawing back and forth. He lunged and went after one of the assistant coaches.
Yes, he did.
And he kept going. That guy got back on the field. I can't believe they let him back on the field.
He did, and he made a tackle, too. Good call, Paul. And he made a tackle, Paul. Good call. Later in the quarter, he got back on the field. Paul is right, though. Good job on his part. There were 2 face masks on Alabama in the third quarter, and neither one of them were called. 2. Georgia got burned with the whistle. There's not even an issue. They got killed. Mike in South Carolina, he's with us here on our program. Mike, it's your turn. How are you today, pal? What do you have?
Good, Chris. Before I get to the championship game, let's not give these refugees too much love. Say thanks for coming by, but they're treating you like a second-class citizen.
Because they didn't come to me. They didn't come to me right away. That's the point.
Exactly, like I did. I've been with you from the beginning. Once you left FAN, I had satellite radio. I said, "There we go, Mad Dog."
Yeah, I mean you can make. It took them 10 years to find me, so I understand your point. Good job. All right, go ahead. What else?
Okay, with the championship game, you don't hear anybody talking about the last play of the game. How is that safety not over the top? I mean, he's right in the middle of the field. He's running to him, and that wide receiver's wide open.
Mike, he looked him off. You saw the quarterback look right, and the safety kind of froze, and then he threw the ball left. So he looked him off in that situation. So that has a lot to do with it. Give the quarterback the credit there for the look off.
No doubt about it.
Throw.
Yeah, but if he was a little closer, it might have been a little different. And how do you play that like that anyway? You know damn well you sacked him for what, 15-yard loss at least? And then you give up a big play to end the game like that?
Yeah, you can't do that. And that is where Georgia, that in the conservative game plan of Georgia,
yes.
That is where they take the hit. In that scenario, you have to keep everything in front of you. You force them at the very least to try another field goal.
Yeah.
You only got to stop. Good call, Mike. You only got to stop in 2 more downs. You cannot, under any shape, way, or form, you cannot let them score the touchdown there. So Georgia takes huge hits for that. That was terrible. Gary in New Jersey, Mad Dog Unleashed. Gary, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Hey, Mad Dog, how you doing?
Gary.
My son's a senior at Georgia. I was at the game last night. And before I
you like the stadium? You like the stadium, by the way?
Well, one of my points was the stadium is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And I got to tell you something, you know this. It makes MetLife in New Jersey is a disgrace.
MetLife stinks. That was a terrible stadium the Giants built. It's antiseptic. It's got no personality whatsoever. This stadium, now you probably haven't been to Dallas. This stadium is that nice, huh?
It's unbelievable. I've been to games for 40 years. It's unbelievable. Getting in was the worst experience of our life. It's the press is not criticizing the people who ran this. We had club seats. It was, I swear to you, 2 hours to get in.
Why?
We missed the national anthem.
Why so long?
4 entrances for the entire 76,000 people. A brand new stadium. They only had 4 entrances. It was 40 degrees and raining, and the lines were forever because of Mr. Trump, the added security. But it's still, I don't know how you build a stadium like that and don't have more entrances.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's the one negative about any president going to any game is that he kills it for everybody else because he makes it impossible, whether it's Obama going to a basketball game, Trump last night, it makes it almost impossible to go to the game as a fan when the president's in the building. It's very, very difficult to do that.
Chris,
very difficult.
I was there at 6. We got in at 8:04. That's
wow.
the truth.
And how about the Georgia, from a Georgia perspective? What's everybody talking about? Your son and everything else. Let me hear.
The officiating, and we're big sports fans, and we know you're going to get some, and you're going to win some, you're going to lose some with the officials. But you said it. I mean, I feel like we really had that game taken away from us for the officials. Some of those calls, friends were texting me during the game, like, how are they not calling? How about when they took Brom's head and shut?
No, that to me it was such a terrible non-call. It was right in front of the guy. How he didn't get a 15-yard penalty there is mind-boggling. And the 2 face masks, I had forgotten about the second one with the running back, which Paul just brought up. 2 face masks, a pass interference, still the block punt, the movement on the touchdown, and, of course, the unnecessary roughness on the QB. I mean, what do you want?
How about that interference? That ball was 10 yards out of bounds.
Terrible call.
I'm telling you, I think they're intimidated by Saban. It's a disgrace. If Alabama had a couple bad calls and okay, you said it, they got every call, and the calls against us killed us. It's a disgrace. It's really sad.
Yeah, bad. It's a terrible officiating, and there's no other way around it. I know a lot of the people who want to wax poetic about how great the game was and what a job by Nick and everything else. They want to downplay the officiating because by accentuating the officiating, you take away from the thrilling aspect of the game, and you take away from the kid from Hawaii playing QB, and you take away from the canonization of Nick Saban. But if you talk about the 6 plays, let's be honest. If any of those 6 plays goes against Alabama, as they should have, all of them, they would have lost. There's no getting around it. No argument. And I bet Alabama. As I said earlier today, I wanted Alabama. So I'm happy the calls were not made. 8 in front of the arrow. We continue. Mad Dog on.